Hi, I'm Chris with Avalon, and in this video we're going to talk about the building envelope of your net zero home. We're going to break it into some pieces. We're going to talk about under the slab in the basement. We're going to talk about the walls from basement and up. We're going to talk about the attic. Then we're going to talk about your windows and then how your HRV plays into that. So first we're going to talk about the insulation under your concrete floor in the basement. So in the garden units, you've got concrete under your flooring, but below that we've got R15 of spray foam. And that's doing two things. One, it's insulating that floor from the ground that wants to wick the heat out of your home. And it's also creating a soil gas barrier. The second thing, as we come up the wall, for any wall that's adjacent to dirt or under grade, we've got 2 inches of foam and then R20 bat, essentially getting us R30, again disconnecting us from the ground that wants to wick energy away. As we come up the wall above grade, the second thing is your walls. As we come up from your floor, on the inside of the garden suites, you've got your concrete walls that are adjacent, again, to dirt on the other side that wants to wick that warm air out of your home. We've got R10 rigid insulation plus an R20 bat, essentially getting us to R30. And then as we come up the walls, we move that rigid to the outside. It's 1.5 inches with R22 bats, again getting us close to that R30. The next thing is once we come over top of your upper floor or below your attic space, we continue a poly air barrier. So as we come up the walls and over top, we've got that air barrier. Above the air barrier, we've got R60. The next is we have a roof. So in our attic, we've got R60 of insulation. But what's more important is as we come below your floor and up the walls and across the top of your ceiling on the second floor, is we've created an air barrier. Insulation is important, but if you're leaking, that's what wastes even more energy. If you think about when you're in your car and you get in, it's super hot in there, it's a summertime, the quickest way to get the heat out is open the windows. Now you've got a leaky car and it's cooling it off. You don't want to have a leaky house and cool it. Because the other thing that goes with air movement that has heat is also moisture. You don't want that moisture getting into your walls either. So then we talk about your windows and doors and how they fit into the envelope. In your net zero home, we're using triple glazed windows. And essentially, although we're adding only one more pane of glass, we're doubling that airspace that you have. So that's going to do a couple things. One, it's going to insulate your window better, but it also makes a big difference around sound. So with that exterior insulation and with that extra gap of air, you're going to find your homes much quieter from outdoor noise. Now, if we go back to the air barrier, which again your windows are all part of, we've now created a super airtight home, which means our cooking or our showering or all those things create a lot of moisture. When we create this super airtight home, that's great to keep that heat in and keep moisture from going through walls. But what it does is it can create a very humid environment. So you're cooking, just breathing, if you have a few people over, all those things actually really do increase the humidity, showers, those kinds of things. So it's imperative in these airtight homes that we have an HRV, and that HRV is running all the time. We set our HRVs to run at a minimum of 20 minutes out of every hour. And we set our humidity to 30 because your HRV is actually a dehumidifier. In the winter, when we're bringing cold, fresh air in and passing that warm moisture out, we'll actually take the moisture out of it as we're bringing fresh, controlled, filtered air into your home. We do put humidifiers in the homes, but we turn them off. So if you got to the point where it feels like when you walk across your carpet, you're shocking your family or it just generally feels dry, it's there to use, but what we think you'll find in these homes is you don't have that issue, and in fact, you're dehumidifying more than you're humidifying.